listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the LOZ Podcast Network. My name is Ken Lawler. You are either watching us in the LOZ app or you're listening to us on KRMS radio. We have a show every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. where you get to hear excerpts from some of our best podcasts. And we're excited this week because we are having our LOZ app holiday podcast. And what that does is we talk about all the things that are going to go on at the lake for the holidays coming up. You guys have just had a nice Thanksgiving dinner. You're probably still feeling a little bit full from that. Saturday, maybe you're out shopping and listening to us, or maybe you're watching in the app. But we're excited today because we have Cameron McCarran, and he is from AIRO Helicopter. And you might wonder, why are we talking about helicopters, in the middle of the winter? Well, Cameron, let's talk about that. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks, Ken. I definitely appreciate you having us on the show. Looking forward to talking about the things that we have going on this winter.
Let's start with kind of how the summer went. You guys had just taken over the helicopter. Right, it's basically, you guys all know where it is. It's right over at the corner, right on the strip. And you guys took that over at the beginning of the summer, and this has kind of been your first season. Tell me how your first season at Lake of the Ozarks went.
It was actually really good. We hired a lot of the staff from the previous owners, and, they've just been fantastic to work with. And we had a really good season up there, but, we really wanted to expand our season a little bit more. It was really good. I think the community, they just accepted us like normal and things like that. But, we're definitely looking at growing that business and expanding the season a little bit more than what it is or what it has been in the past.
Yeah, because I think in the past it used to be, they might have stayed open maybe through October, but then they kind of closed it up. So the fact that you guys are still open now, right? I mean, you can still go get a helicopter tour or a ride on the weekends. You've been open all season, which is awesome because, it used to be the shoulder season, was kind of short-lived, but anymore, with as many people that are coming down to the lake or that actually live there full time, there's stuff going on every weekend. I mean, our app is filled with all these kind of events that are going on. And it's cool to see you guys stay open because there's a lot of really, the fall scenery with the leaves changing, and now we're getting into, winter where in the holiday season where, and we'll talk a little bit about this, but, the lights that are happening on the different homes and boats at the lake. But that's kind of what we want to talk about because it is the holiday podcast, and part of that is what we're doing for the holiday season. And you guys have done kind of a cool collaboration and promotion. Let everybody know what you're doing.
Yeah. So, we worked with the Celebration Cruises, which everybody's familiar with at Lake Ozark and Lake of the Ozarks. They do an amazing job of taking people on boat cruises across the lake. But whenever it turns into the holiday season and all the lights come on and people decorate their houses on the lake, they actually take customers around the lake looking at Christmas lights. And we thought it would be a really cool idea for those customers to be able to see lights from the lake, but also see lights from the air, right? Which would be really cool. We do that in a lot of our other locations. We do Christmas light tours in our Tulsa location, our Branson location, Northwest Arkansas, and Kansas City, and they're just really successful. And seeing the lights from the air is just a whole new perspective, right? And so we wanted to bring that to Lake of the Ozarks. And so we've collaborated with Celebration Cruises, and we're on their website, and they are on our website where you can purchase tickets to buy our light tours. We actually have two options this year. One option is an 8-mile tour that takes you over the lake and over the town of Lake Ozark. And then our second option also takes you over the lake and Bagnell Dam and the Strip, but it also takes you down into Osage Beach, which is roughly about a 12 to 13-mile trip. It's going to be really neat and a whole new perspective for customers in that area. If you're in town on the weekends, come by and see us. You won't be disappointed, I promise.
That's so cool because people, normally you're going up during the daytime and, you're seeing obviously the sights around the lake and the water, and it's cool. And, it's awesome. But at night, flying at night is so different. And just that perception of what's going on and the lights that pop up and you can see lights from pretty far away. And so, I mean, you'll see a whole hillside lit up if, they're decorating it's going to be very cool, and what an experience for someone to share, particularly for the holidays. Because I mean, everyone's looking for that. What can I do different this year? What kind of little gift can I give to somebody that is going to stand out and might not be the same old same old. Well, this is something that I think is awesome. You guys are going to provide a truly unique experience for people to experience the holidays at Lake of the Ozarks in a whole different way.
Yeah, we're just excited about it, Ken. We really are. And, we invite locals, people that are visiting, on the weekends. Black Friday's right around the corner, so it's going to be really spectacular. And, you can't think about just, always just the Christmas lights. The lake has grown so much, right? And when there's a congested area of people or businesses, you get to see all the lights from the air, and it looks really cool. It looks almost like a Christmas tree from up there.
Yeah, and the other thing I love about it is that there's so many ways that people can enjoy the holidays at the lake. Obviously, people come down for the shopping. They come down. There's so many boutiques and little stores and stuff. And right where you're located there on the dam, there's a ton of stuff right there. We've got the holiday parade coming up. There's going to be a parade that goes down the strip. There's all kinds of little tree and light shows going on in Lori and Gravois Mills. And, you guys are just adding to that experience by collaborating with the Celebration Cruises. And by the way, the Celebration Cruises, they've been around forever. And I mean, if you guys don't know where that is, that's right at the start of the dam. When you come over the dam and you look to your right, there's those two huge boats. They go out almost every day, I think a couple times a day.
Yeah.
So what a cool experience to do lights by water and lights by air.
Yes.
And I want everybody to also remember, you can go into the app. You can go under Adventure Fun and find you guys, and you can book right through the app to go on any of these tours as well, or even during the year when you try to book your trips, because you guys prefer people to kind of let you know when they're coming by. I mean, you can walk up and no problem with that if you're just out and about, but if you can schedule those with you guys, you do prefer that, right?
Absolutely. You can book online. You can go to our website. It's iflyairo.com. So it's ifly.com, and you can book those online, and it helps us to plan, especially if you book online, so we can make sure we have all the right resources there to take care of our customers.
Yeah, and guys, you don't even have to remember the website if you don't want to. Go to the app, hit the button that says website, and you're in there. And that's the beauty of it, is that you can go straight in through the LOZ app and be booking right away. Tell me a little bit about the different helicopters you guys used at the Lake of the Ozarks. I know you got a couple down there. What are those helicopters for the people who are maybe a little bit more into, they want to know the kind of equipment that you have down there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up, Ken. You're right. The LOZ app is the perfect place to go to find our information and get to our website. And those helicopters are actually Robinson R-44s. It's the number one used helicopter in the entire world. We've been operating those helicopters for over 20 years, and they're extremely safe. We go above and beyond safety protocols that the FAA requires that we do. So, it's a great helicopter it's got great visibility. The windows are very open. You can see, the windows aren't open. They're just very visible. Sorry. I didn't mean
Right.
to think-
Lots
I
of
didn't mean to think
visibility.
that the windows were open and there was going to be a bunch of cold air coming in. It's heated. It's very comfortable. It's a great helicopter to fly in.
And you can fit up to 3 people. I know there's weight restrictions, but you can fit up to 3 people in those as well, right?
That is correct. Yeah, we can fit up to 3 people with some weight restrictions. Yes.
And I think people, always wonder, oh my gosh, I'm getting these helicopters. I wonder if they're, safe. Well, the beauty of what you guys do is you started as a maintenance facility. I mean, you started by taking care of these helicopters. And so you have a real appreciation for what it takes to keep these helicopters running and make sure that they're in top-notch shape.
Yes.
You don't let someone else handle that for you. You guys are that's in your purvey. So you guys are making sure these things are running really good and
Absolutely.
I think they're pretty new too. I mean when I go to look at them, they look like they're almost brand new.
Yeah. Most of our aircraft are, fairly new. But the cool thing about this particular model of helicopter is they get overhauled every 2,200 hours. So that means they become a brand new helicopter with brand new parts on them every 2,200 hours. So, they're great machines. The manufacturers out in California, they've been good to us. And like you said, we started out as a maintenance facility, and we maintain our own aircraft. And we're also a registered service center with the manufacturer. So we actually work on other people's helicopters because we're an approved service center.
Yeah, and that's just a great peace of mind. I mean, you guys take care of those things, and that's awesome. Tell a little bit about what's going on for the. So it's your first season. Hey, you're newbies. As you got through the first year, but that's always the toughest, they say.
It is.
So going into next year, what do you guys have planned? Is it something that are you? What did you? I guess what did you learn this summer that you're gonna kind of work on for next summer?
We were really starting to think about our marketing for next year. The consumer at the lake is a little bit different from some of our other markets. I mentioned those earlier that we operate in, like Kansas City and Branson. So we're rethinking some of our marketing strategies. We're also planning to be open by spring break next year. So I think that is something different that hasn't happened in the past. Maybe it has. I don't know, to be honest with you. But our plan is to try to be open by spring break. In our area, there's a lot of travel for spring break. There's multiple different states that travel to the Ozarks, and they all come at different times. So typically we have about 3 weeks worth of spring break. I know schools are out different. Every state's a little different. But from the 15th all the way through the end of the month, we typically have spring breakers around. So we want to be open and available for those customers that are looking for something to do that time of year.
That's a great idea, because that is a huge travel week or a couple weeks in there that people are going down to the lake. And sometimes you can really catch some really good weather down there. So, we'll talk to you in the spring as we get into there about when you're going to be open and some of the special things you're doing. But guys, get there for the holiday tours. Do the light tour with them. Any weekend from now until the end of the year, you can go by there and get a ride and enjoy a unique experience with AIRO helicopter at the lake, because that's something you can give a gift to somebody that they never ever would expect, and they're going to remember for a lifetime. Cameron, thank you so much for joining us on the show today, and we look forward to talking to you as we get in the spring. And everybody, remember, get up into the sky, look what's going on. Cameron's making it happen at AIRO Helicopter.
Thanks, Ken.
All right, have a great one.
See you,
guys.
buddy.
We will see you when we get back after these messages.